Well, howdy from the south in Tupelo, Mississippi. Let me get comfortable because you know us southern folks, we love our recliners and our porch swings. My name's Janet and I'm a granny. Very proud granny at that. I've been wanting to do this video for a few weeks now. And I finally had the time to sit down and try to do it. So I'm a little antsy today. I've had so much of this coffee. But I drink coffee all day long. I got some bipolar going on, so if I get off subject, you'll know why. Anyway, hope everybody's doing good. I've been thinking about something and it's really irritated me since I found out this, and thought I'd talk to y'all about it a little bit. You know, a lot of people don't care, couldn't care less how much money the government's spending on what. And the reason I do is because I got kids and grandkids coming up, and most of you do. If you don't, you probably will have for too long. But anyway, I found out last week, couple of weeks ago, that the government in 2013 spent $77 billion on EBT food stamp benefits. Now, it's a lot of money. And you know it ain't right. You know it ain't right. Who knows it ain't right? You know it ain't right. I know it ain't right. Because I know too many old folks that's getting $10 to $15, $30 a month of food stamps. Now let me tell you something. Can't nobody live on no $15, $30 a month in food. These old folks is having to decide whether they're going to buy medicine or they're going to buy food. Now, that ain't right. That's just not right. I don't care how much they try to make it right, it ain't right. Now, I'm trying to help the government out today by trying to give them some advice, but they ain't going to listen. I know they ain't. They say we haven't changed. I ain't seen none of that. Yeah, I've seen it, but it ain't been good. And let me tell you, it's going to get worse before it gets better, it looks like. But anywho, $77 billion. Now, y'all ask yourself something. Just ask yourself the same question I did. Where is all this money going? Who's getting all this money? We know what's going on. I talked to a cashier the other day. She said, honey, child, people come in here and they got $1,200 to $1,400 on EBT cards. And I was like, what? You gotta be kidding me. No, ma'am. $1,200 to $1,400. Now, this was a day when I was trying to buy my mama some groceries, help her buy groceries on $40 worth of food stamps she gets every month, and they done cut it down to $31. But because she makes $700 a month on Social Security. But anyway, I said, you got to be kidding me. And she said, no, ma'am. She said, there's so many that come in here, you know, anywhere from $500 to $1,400, $1,500 worth of EBT benefits. Now, where's mine? Cause I'm not in the poverty level, but I ain't in the middle class. But I'm not eligible for those benefits anyway. So I got to sitting down thinking, you know, this is ridiculous. Now, I know some people that know some people that cheat the government. Yeah, it's gonna be third party because if I knew them, I'd be calling on them. But anyway, y'all know how they're doing this. Y'all know how they're getting $1,400-$1,500 a month. And it ain't because they're doing it legitimately. They going up there and they lying. Now these parents having all these young'uns is putting all of their kids on their parents' applications. Now they working making $100,000 a year, but mom and daddy, which is grandpa and grandma, y'all put all my kids on the application like you taking care of them. And then we'll get some of the benefits. We'll spend some of the food stamps every month. Y'all know that's going on. Y'all know. I know. Everybody knows. Ain't nobody stupid. Now, when some of these folks can't get $1, and these old people, yeah, they want them to die. That's what they want them to do. Yep. Now, I'm a little bipolar today, so you need to be careful and listen to me. Oh, because I might say something I might not need to. But these elderly people can't make it on no $30 a month. You buy some meal and flour and butter and sugar and milk and eggs, and that's all. That's all. Now, what's going on? Now, the government must think, well, you done got 78 years old, you done got 75-year-old, you done lived your life. Well, we're going to starve you to death. But we're going to give all these people that ain't even trying to help themselves $1,300 and $1,400 a month and some food so they can cheat the government. Y'all know it ain't right. You know and I know it ain't right. I'm so upset over this. Disgusted. Now, I believe in having children now. Don't get me wrong. Have your kids. Have all the kids you want. But at least be able to help feed them. Help raise them. I'm talking about help now. I mean, I ain't talking about even taking the whole responsibility on yourself. I'm talking about help. Don't depend on the government for all of it. Because as long as they throwing it in your lap, you know you're going to take it. And pull up in bootstraps and go to work. Get out here and hoe. Like my grandparents did. My grandparents hoed. They had a garden. They hoed cotton. They grabbed a hoe every morning. And that's H-O-E with a blade. A hoe. Every morning. From sun up till sundown, they hoed cotton and picked cotton. And we don't see that now. And killed hogs. You know, I kill hogs. I pluck chickens. Sure did. I done my share of hoeing in the garden. I had to. If I was going to get anything in my belly, I was going to have to do something. And these people got it too easy. They got it too easy. Why? Because ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Y'all know and I know. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Gonna sit there and let them suck the government dry. Just suck it all up. And you are paying for it. We are paying for it. And then you got some of these people drawing food stamps that want to sell $100 worth of food, get $100 worth of cash for, and say you go get $200 worth of food on my EBT card. Well, now you know that's a good deal. $100 for $200 worth of food, that's a good deal. I mean, I ain't gonna argue that, but it's wrong. It ain't right. Y'all know it ain't right. And what's going to do? Well, I mean, change is coming. You're not. Show ain't. Show ain't. It ain't coming. Yeah, it's going to get worse. That's what change is finna come. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, my grandma, bless her heart, she's dead and gone. Been gone since 77. But she had 11 kids. And her and my papa raised them kids. And they got out and worked the fields. And they had their own peas. Purple hull peas. Ain't nothing like no purple hull peas with some cornbread and okra out of the garden and tomato soup. They ain't nothing like it. Now, who has that for dinner every night? I do. A lot of times I do. We do. Because that's some good food. Ain't nothing processed about it. That's what's killing folks. All this processed stuff. They ain't gonna kill you starving you to death. They're gonna give you enough money to buy all this processed stuff to kill you eventually anyway. So, anyway, have all these kids you want to have. But like my grandma said, you know, some people don't believe, bless their hearts, they don't believe in birth control. And I respect that. You know, I respect anybody that don't believe in birth control. You know, but she always told me, if you put a couple of aspirins in between your knees, you ain't got to worry about getting pregnant. Just hold them there. So some of you folks need to be putting some aspirin between the knees. Mm-hmm. You know, all them benefits and $77 billion, that could give every one of the adults in the United States $1 million. I guess I hadn't calculated it, but I'm pretty sure they could. And you know, we could eat off the interest on the $1 million. I don't know. I ain't never had $1 million, but anywho, my grandma, she had 11 kids. Now they worked, and she, of course, bless her heart, she stayed pregnant all the time. And she got out in the field, and she told me when she would get out, go into labor, she'd go in the house and have the baby. And then, after the baby was cleaned up, 2 or 3 hours later, she was back out in the fields. Lord, all these folks would die. I mean, I would. And I'm 50-year-old, so I mean, I know these young folks they couldn't make it. They couldn't make it at all. But that's what I am so upset about, is all of this money and all these elderly people not being able to buy food and medicine because they're getting $10, $15, $20, $30 food stamp. They can't make it on that. Y'all know that ain't right. So now here is my theory and my resolution to the problem. If the government gonna listen to me, which they ain't. You know, government don't listen to little people, especially any southern people. I mean, they think we kind of off in the head, but you know, that's just their opinion. But southern folks is smart. Southern folks can get stuff done. I'm telling you. But if they're gonna put a cap on stuff, they could put a cap on food stamps and EBT benefits, and all they'd have to do is give a minimum, $100 a month to an elderly person in need. $100 ain't gonna buy nothing much anyway, but it'd keep them from starving. And if you got 15 kids, 10, 7, $500 cap. You can take $500 and go to Sam's Club, and you can buy a bunch of food. You're gonna have to cook. You know, it ain't gonna be no steaks and filet mignons and all that. But you can make a bunch of meals with $500 from Sam's Club, because you're gonna buy it in bulk. Now that's my resolution. Of course, they ain't gonna listen to me. They might, and they ain't gonna listen to you either. Unless you got millions of dollars to pour into their campaigns and their causes. And ain't nobody down here in the South got that much money. Not that I know of. But I just had to share this with y'all today because it's really burdened me. And I'm telling you, I don't understand how in the world they can even come to that conclusion. I mean, come to $77 billion and justify giving all that money out in food benefits. And there's people starving under bridges. Don't make sense. It don't make no sense. Y'all know it ain't right. It ain't right. I'm telling you. I am telling you, it ain't right. And I just had to share that with y'all because I'm telling you, the government's ornery. They ain't gonna listen to nobody. They just gonna do what they want to. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you start calling in on these people that you know that's doing this stuff, some of this stuff be stopped. Some of it be stopped. I don't know. You know something. They don't do nothing about nothing no more, unless you kill a hog or do something to an animal. You know, I used to kill hogs and I've plucked chickens and I've hoed and, you know, people, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna like that, but I can't help it. We had to do what we had to do to survive when I was growing up. We ate vegetable soup, taters, and cornbread just about every night. Chicken and dumplings was, honey, that was a delicacy in our house. But Lord, things have changed. If my grandma was alive today, she would just shake her head, just like I'm doing. She would just shake her head and say, God help them. God help them. I don't know what we're going to do. That was my grandma's favorite saying was, I don't know what we're going to do. We just got to trust in the Lord to help us get through it. But y'all think about that today, that $77 billion. Y'all think about that. That's a lot of money. And that'd feed a lot of people. That'd feed everybody in the United States. I mean, go buy a bag of groceries and ship it to us. You know, I'd like to have an EBT card. I ain't gonna lie. Because we don't get to spend but $100 every 2 weeks on food. And that don't buy a whole lot. I mean, it's just me and my husband, but y'all know that don't buy a lot. But God help them. God, you know, pray for them. They need it. All these people that are doing this and collecting these benefits, and these poor people, elderly people that can't get nothing, and the poor people that can't get nothing because they not qualified. Y'all pray for them. It's pitiful. It's a pitiful situation. And I'm going to come back to you and talk about some other things because this bipolar stuff, it just went rampant on me this past week, and I just had to share this with y'all. But y'all have a blessed day, and stay good. Just stay good.